I wanted to start off and ask you. Neil Hannon. I mean, I know he lives in the same town that I grew up in, and
Ah.
I'm wondering. I mean, was there something specific about the Divine Comedy that kind of you thought that they could that he could write the music for this? Was there any particular song, or was it just a case of he had the kind of the lyrical ability and all the rest of it?
Well, I've been a huge fan of his since sort of the very early days, which ages me quite precisely. But I think he's a genius, and he's got an incredibly rare quality, which is that his songs are funny and emotional at the same time, and that's so rare. I think what he also has, which made him especially perfect for this film, is that there's a sort of obviously he's a contemporary songwriter, but there's a sort of timeless quality to his songs that I felt sat very well with the kind of Anthony Newley, Leslie Bricker songs that we all know, Pure Imagination and the Oompa Loompa song, and the songs from the '71 movie. And right from the start, I wanted this to be a sort of companion piece to that movie, so that one of our sort of guiding principles was what would that creative team have done had they been tasked with making a Willy Wonka film today? And it felt like Neil was just the perfect match.
Can you talk a little bit about the casting process for Timothy? Because I mean, obviously, like you've mentioned the '71 movie there, so like obviously Gene Wilder pretty much defined that role, and I'm wondering, like, 'cause, I mean, the thing, the essential kind of quality of Roald Dahl, if I think of it, is that all adults are not to be trusted. So, if we're seeing Wonka as a young adult, then how do you square that? I guess.
Well, he's got a sort of strong sense of good and evil, and there are certainly the like you say, the Dahl universe is populated by pretty malevolent forces, but there are
Yeah.
good people out there. You know, there's Grandpa Joe, and there's Danny the Champion of the World's dad, and you know, there's Miss Honey and Matilda, and there are sort of good eggs. I think what appealed to me was, especially having done the Paddington movies, which are set in quite a warm, welcoming world where most people are basically nice, but there's the odd rotten apple. Was Dahl's far more cynical, and it's kind of a world of quite malicious people, but there's the odd good person out there, and the importance of those people finding each other and working together to try and make the world a better place. And there's that great line in Pure Imagination: "Want to change the world? There's nothing to it." And that really felt to me like the heart of the story, and the message that this is about young Willy Wonka, who's naive and optimistic and going into the world thinking it's going to be a just and fair and straightforward place, and discovering that no, it's a Roald Dahl universe, and you're going to have to dig deep to find the courage to change that world.
I don't know if you ever saw that clip of Roald Dahl talking about. I think it was on one of the. I think it was on. It was either Wogan or something. It was one interview where he was basically talking about all the dates that certain chocolate bars were made. That he was able to memorize them all really, really well.
Wow.
It's really good. Yeah, it's really good. I think it was either Wogan or it might have been Parkinson. I can't remember. But the reason I bring it up is that and I first book I ever read was Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and the second book I ever read was Glass Elevator. And I'm wondering, I mean, when you were writing this, I mean, did you refer back to the original novels in any kind of way, shape, or form, or was it just more of a sort of inspiration and run it off to a different level?
No, I mean, I referred to the book constantly, and like you, I grew up with it. It was one of the first books I read, and I read it time and time again. So it was seared pretty deeply into my subconscious anyway. But we certainly went back and explored it. And I remember being a child, especially when you sort of see a film and a book, and they contradict each other in some way. It's incredibly annoying. So I sort of wanted to be as respectful as possible to the book. And we were lucky enough to work with Luke Kelly, who's Roald Dahl's grandson, and ran the Dahl estate for a number of years, and he sort of developed the film with us, and was for him, it's obviously, as well as a professional interest in Roald Dahl that I have, it was deeply personal not to do something that would in any way sort of sit at odds with the book and the worlds he created.
Okay, I know I've got one question left very, very quickly. What is your favorite chocolate bar?
Ooh, well, it's being cancelled, but I love a Karamak.
Me too. Yeah.
They're going.
Yeah.
It's just heartbreaking.
Yeah. I prefer a good dairy milk. Just a good solid dairy milk.
Do
You can't go
you?
wrong with.
It's just a bit too much milk chocolate for me. What can I
That's
say?
fair.
I've got a sweet tooth.
Yeah, same here. Okay, thanks so much.
My pleasure.
I guess it's time to change the world.